From the 11 Alive studios, this is The Georgia Vote with Faith Jesse and Zach Merchant.
Well, there are 7 weeks left in the race for the White House, and in this home stretch, big moments matter more than ever.
That's right, and for the first time and maybe the only time, Vice President Kamala Harris and former President Donald Trump squared off in a debate. Nearly 70 million people watched Tuesday night. That's about 16 million more than those who tuned in for the June debate that took place here in Atlanta between President Joe Biden and former President Trump. And for the tens of millions watching, they wanted to learn more about the candidates' stances on major issues. The economy was first up. Harris tried to lean into her plan for an opportunity economy, while Trump blasted the Biden-Harris economy as he promoted his tariff plans. And the two candidates, they engaged in a lengthy clash over abortion, during which Trump twice declined to say whether he would veto a federal abortion ban if Congress passed one. Harris said she'd work to put protections from Roe v. Wade back in place. And of course, there was the discussion about competing campaign rallies. Cue crowd sizes, right? Well, more than a month ago, Georgia State University hosted rallies for both Kamala Harris and Donald Trump within a span of less than a week. Well, once the vice president brought it up, the former president responded quickly.
You will see during the course of his rallies, he talks about fictional characters like Hannibal Lecter. He will talk about windmills cause cancer. And what you will also notice is that people start leaving his rallies early out of exhaustion and boredom. And I will tell you, the one thing you will not hear him talk about is you.
She said people start leaving. People don't go to her rallies. There's no reason to go. And the people that do go, she's bussing them in and paying them to be there, and then showing them in a different light. So she can't talk about that. People don't leave my rallies. We have the biggest rallies, the most incredible rallies in the history of politics. That's because people want to take their country back.
And following this debate, each campaign had their own spin as to who had the best performance. Georgia GOP Chair Josh McCoon singing Trump's praises, saying he focused on issues voters cared about.
The people that we're talking to every day, they're concerned about the economy. They have anxiety about the economy. And they really didn't hear anything from Vice President Harris last night about the economy that she and Joe Biden are responsible for. And so I think that the advantage definitely was to President Trump last night, to that small population of voters that are still undecided. The expectations for Vice President Harris had been set extremely low. And so pundits are, saying, oh, well, she did great. But when it comes to the issues that voters wanted to hear, she was very unwilling to engage in a discussion of those issues. She was too busy calling President Trump names and, as you said earlier, trying to bait him into some discussion about things other than the issues. So I actually think President Trump had a very good debate, and I think that's one of the reasons when he was asked immediately following the debate, would he do it again, his immediate reaction was, why? I had a great debate.
On the other side of the aisle, Democratic State Representative Derek Jackson said Harris had the strongest performance on that debate stage, saying that she reached across the aisle to speak to all voters.
I believe Vice President Kamala Harris not only spoke to the undecided, but she also spoke to the independent, and she spoke to, again, Democrats and Republicans alike. When they were here, they did a 2-day bus tour in rural parts of Georgia. So that's very clear that Vice President Kamala Harris wants to be the president for all Americans, both urban, suburban, and rural, also Republican, Democrat, and independents. And so I believe during that 90 minutes of the debate, she spoke to all Americans. Her values and her principles never changed. The most refreshing thing to me was that she continues to evolve, as we all should. The more information that one takes in, you should be able to make a sound decision. And as a leader, you want someone at the helm that will be able to take in all the various inputs and then make a sound decision thereafter. And so I believe her policy around fracking and guns and reproductive freedom, she was very clear and very succinct and very stable in her response. She continues to stand firm on her values and her principles.